to be fair, probably the one was probably Western-super-Mez win at Dorking, and obviously with all the build-up with Dorking's 1,000th game for Marc White, that didn't quite go to plan for him, to be honest. I watched the goals, and Western looked very effective. They almost looked like they went back to what they were good at the start of the season, which was good counter-attacking football. And that's got them the deserved 3 points against the Dorking side that one of the best scoring sides in not just our division but across the top 6 tiers of English football. So they would have seen that as a massive boost, and particularly the form they've been in Western, they've really slipped out of the sort of the promotion race recently, where they were, I think, 3-4 points clear at the top, and now suddenly they're just sitting outside the playoffs now. So it's funny how it sort of all quickly turns, really. But it's not really too much, to be honest. I mean, I think Hemmel's win against Farnborough actually was probably a good one for them, because Hemel obviously look, they went for that really they went for that really bad patch they did, where I think they lost like 10 in a row or something like that. And the new manager Lee Allison's come in from Hendon. And he sort of, rebuilt things a little bit. They're not getting it to spectacular form, but they are starting to tick off a couple of wins, which is what they need to move away from that bottom 4, because they were starting to get dragged into it a little bit. Albeit, they've got a bit of cushion between them. They've still got to make sure, though, they're probably about 4 or 5 wins away from staying in the division, to be honest. So, when you look at the tables, obviously we'll come on to a bit, it's getting a bit concerning now for the bottom 4, because the gap is starting to open up a little bit now. So, and that's the thing. That's why the teams in and around each other in the bottom 4 are going to have to start taking points off each other, and they're going to be massive games now. But then again, they need to take points against the sides like Bath and Welling as well, who really slipped down there, because otherwise that gap just get bigger and bigger, and they'll be relegated before we can get to April at this rate. So, that's probably, Dorking, and probably, obviously Cheshire's result that probably was a standout result of the weekend, because any side that beats a team 18 games unbeaten, I think they deserve the result of the week. So, that's probably the ones for me.
Ben, do you think Dorking should have brought the mascot on?
That was so funny.
What they needed, was a big, old centre forward that's played in the Championship. Someone, I don't know, like John Parkin, maybe he might have been quite good.
The fact he was holding the captain's hand, that
was quality.
Charlie Carter looked like he was really enjoying that, actually. That's exactly, though, to be fair, what Dorking are about as a club. They're happy to get the stick for it, and then again it gets them the media coverage, obviously under the cost. That we've seen the good work they've all done, and that with their podcast. Obviously they were at the award of us, weren't they? So massive fair play to John Parkin. Putting on a stuff like that. I'm surprised they managed to find a shirt big enough for him, though. I was quite pleased about that for him. Looked quite a tight fit for our Parkin.
We don't fat shame on this podcast, then. Come on.
We're not skinny race like you calling down every weekend, Ben.
Just hoping we don't invite him on this podcast, because I don't think my arsehole will get torn a new one, I would have thought. He'll finish me off, you will, that man.
Obviously, we did have a few games midweek. Before we get on to your game, Ben, any other standouts for you? I mean, Boreham Wood are obviously they're doing well at the minute, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. 2 more goals from Matt Rush. Man, we could have had, but we chose not to. So that was a bit of a shame, that. But they're in blistering form at the moment, and I fully expect them to go and win this league, really, because the form they've been in is ridiculous, and the players they've got. That's the thing. If they get a couple of injuries, they've got players they can bring in to make up the numbers in it. Because that's the problem we haven't got. If we get a couple of injuries, we're down to the bare bones. But they've got plenty of forward options. They're scoring a lot of goals. Was it Appiah? Got Player of the Month. I thought it might have been a curse of the Player of the Month, but that doesn't seem to happen because he got another goal. But again as well, probably a big one actually. To be fair, Slough picking up a good point actually against Torquay, because Torquay scored very late on. They scored. Dean Moxley scored 89th minute. He did. And I know the manager, Paul Woodson, was very, very unhappy with the way they managed the game after, because apparently they had the ball in the corner, I think 94, 95 minutes in the clock. They tried to put a cross in, and then Sal went down the other end and scored. So that's 2 big points dropped for them, really. And to be honest, I was looking for the game throughout, obviously, the time our game was on. I thought, we're going to win, and that would have been a great opportunity to cut down some points to them. So when I saw that goal come through, I was like, thank God for that, because it just cuts it down a little bit. I know Bournemouth has still got the game in hand over us, but at least the gap's still not opening up. So, it's key for that. But Yeah, and again as well, good win for Worthing. They scored a last-minute winner, I'm pretty sure, down there after being pegged back, I think twice. So yeah, they're starting to find some form as well, which is not helpful because we've got them on Saturday. So Danny Cashman, hopefully he's not in goal scoring form against us, and say with our ex-striker Mo Fowl, hopefully they've left their shooting boots at home because it could be a long afternoon otherwise.
Is it at home?
It is at home, thankfully, yeah. And to be fair, with the only side in our league that's beating them away from home like this season, so it's going to be tough. The manager has made it clear in his post-match interview saying, look, they were a different side then, and I don't know if he's trying to play mind games a little bit with us, but it seemed like it a little bit in the interview. So it is going to be an exciting one because Worthing's way they play, it actually suits us because we actually do like to play a high press. They love playing from the back, and to be fair, had we had our shooting boots on that day at their place, we could have won that game more comfortably. So it'll be a completely different, challenge for us. I fully expect. I know they've brought in a couple of players in recently. One they had last year, I think some Spanish lad. I can't remember his name. Is it Odai? I think it is. They'll be looking to, to almost want to explore the party a little bit, but they'll be looking to put a dampener on us because they'll still see us and think, look, they've lost once in 20 games. And if they win, then they go, above us in the division. So we've got to make sure we win as well because they've still got a game in hand over us. And if they win that, they go above us as well. So if we win, then we at least open up a gap on them. So Saturday's massive, I think, for us in terms of the context of the season. So hopefully we get a result.
Tell me some tips as well, Ben, when you play them, because we have them in the FA Trophy away. So anything you want to tell me that can pass on to Big Jim, let me know.
Oh, no. I mean, I'm sure he'll do, Rich. They're very similar to the way they Dorking play. Like, they love playing it from the back. They're very confident. They're very good at what they do, Worthing. They score a lot of goals. They've got some very good forward players that we know all too well about. So, I am fully expecting probably one of our toughest challenges in recent weeks. Maybe we played the likes of Torquay, back in November. This will be a real tough one for us. And if we can get a win out of it, that'll be massive. But if we can get a draw, it wouldn't be the worst result in the world for me. But yeah, it's one of those games you just don't want to lose. That's my perspective.
And speaking of wins, talk to us.
Well, long journey again. We love a long journey on a Tuesday night at the moment. I hope that is the last one I have to do that's like over 2 hours long because it wasn't. I didn't get home until 2 a.m, but it is what it is. Look, it wasn't great, to be honest, at Weymouth. I think Gaffer's probably summed it up perfectly. It was a game of two halves. I thought first half we completely dominated large parts of it. And it really did give me the impression of why Weymouth are where they are in the division. They lacks creativity going forward. We played some good stuff at times, and had it not been for their keeper Will Buse, it could have well been more comfortable by half time. Made a couple of fine saves, but thankfully got a goal about just after, I think it was half-hour mark. I think it was Rafe Brown, who hasn't been involved a lot recently because unfortunately he's had injuries. So he came back in for Reece Greenwich, who played last Saturday, and popped up with a goal from the sort of second phase of a corner from Ben Brooks. Another assist for him this year. We thought we'd go on and maybe get at least another one or maybe two more to just make it a bit more comfortable. But that's the thing. Our problem sometimes is that you give teams a bit of an edge, they might come back at you. And second half, I think Weymouth were probably just a little bit better than us in the second half. We were very, let's be honest, I think I'll be honest with myself, I think we were very lucky to come away with a win because they had a good chance to equalise. They had a penalty, which Brandon Goodship put wide, which was one of the worst penalties I've seen for ages, and that just shows where they are.
Bad.
It was terrible, and it was a penalty as well. So it's not exactly one we can say it was justice because it was a penalty for me. It's like that was, I think, against one of the better sides in the division that goes in for me. But it's a massive confidence thing for Warren Feeney's side. We didn't really create too much. The problem is we look so tired at the moment, and this is the thing. The gaffer actually after the game, so obviously I went out to film the players, and that I was expecting a few good celebrations because I thought, look, it's another big win for us. But a lot of the players were actually really unhappy. There was about the way we played because you're thinking, look, we can't be coming to these sides and struggling to win the game. That's the thing, and they are right because they've won 2 games at home this season, Weymouth, and we didn't want to be that first side to lose to them. That was the main thing. So I'm glad we got the job done. But the gaffer said to the supporters that, the very few that came down, it was about 20, 30 of them, I say. So a great effort from our supporters, for a long trip on a Tuesday. But the gaffer walked up to the supporters and said, look, we need help. And I think that was the first thing he said to me, coming off saying, we need recruitment like ASAP. because the players, we can't bring on players to affect the game, and it's no disrespect to the players we've got on the bench, but we just seem to get weaker as the game goes on. And I think a bit of tiredness maybe crept in from Saturday as well. A lot of it took out the players, and obviously with the long journey on the day. I think the gaffer was really, really pleased about how we managed to, get it over the line. But if I say one, could say one thing to our owners is, please, can we sign at least 2 or 3 new players, because we need some fresh blood in. Yeah. Because if we don't, then we won't go up. That's as simple as that for me. We're still in a good spell where, in fact, we're not losing games of football too often. We're still winning games, but it will get to a point where we're paying. It's all right doing it against the bottom teams, but if you don't do it against the top sides, then we will slip down the table, and that's the worry I have, because it always takes us a couple of defeats, and then suddenly you're slipping outside the playoffs. And
one loss in 19 games, though, in 20 games even.
Exactly, but it's a shame, really, in a way, because if we'd started the season, I think we had a great start to the season. Even if we just picked up another win or something somewhere along the lines, we would be top of the league right now. And to be fair, if we win our next 2 games, we will at least be top of the league for 24 hours, because Bournemouth don't play, I don't think, till the Tuesday. So yeah, it's just hey, the main thing is we're staying up, so I'm happy about that. We got the 50-point mark now. More wins for us, and it might be a bit funny, but to be fair, clubs do, bigger clubs in this division do slip out of this league, because it is a hard, you can easily slip out. So the first task is make sure you get your 50 points, you stay up. So I'm pleased about that. But
I've got a question. Sorry, of all those things that you've just said, and I don't know if you saw the shock on my face. Warren Feeney is a manager.
Yes, he is. For Weymouth.
Shut up. Oh, I loved him. He played for us. Oh, what a guy.
Unfortunately, his management career is not going in the direction. I mean, to be fair, he did a poor job at Welling, really. And then, obviously, at Weymouth, he's come in. Look, they're in a difficult situation, Weymouth, and I do feel a bit sorry for them. Their supporters obviously giving them a lot of stick. And I don't blame them for where they are, because they used to get fairly good crowds there. But where I sat in their stand, I think there was only 5 people on my side of the stand. I think it was a crowd of 500 that night, which for a club like that, they used to get crowds of about at least 1,200. So obviously people falling away in love from it, because they've just been used to losing for the last couple of years. So it's a situation for Warren Feeney to walk into, and it probably was a budget manager for them, I guess, in the circumstances. But I think they're going down for me. That I think they're not cut out for it. They just haven't got enough creativity about them. And the fact is they will have a suspended player as well, so they've got players sent off against us as well. I thought the decision was a bit harsh, having seen the replay. And he was one of their better players as well, Calvin Brooks. But they're in a situation.
I saw that on what's he called? Sol's seems to be on my FYP on TikTok all the time. I saw that challenge on there.
Yeah. And you see, getting credit though this week as well. Actually, that was the first. Honestly, during the warm up, he's going like, "Oh, Ben, you couldn't do me a quick favour and then do what clips you do for George Fowler." I thought, "All right, what are you paying me?" like I'm exclusive to George Fowler.
In modern football, it is a red card though.
It is probably, yeah. I mean, it's one of those where I think I would like another camera angle of it, to be fair, because it is quite far away and it is difficult to see the amount of contact. But to be fair, what I said when I got back on the coach was, look, Reece Grendy's got sent off for way less he did at Dorking, a few months ago. So if that was a red card, then that was most certainly a red card. So I don't think I've seen that they've appealed it. So I'm assuming they've looked at them for, look, we're not going to get away with that. So they're probably just going to knock that one in the head. But yeah, we're in a good place at the moment. Still keeping in touch with that top.
Let's
top
have a look.
Yeah,
let's have a look. Yay!
That is so tight though. That's the thing. Like, it just week by week it's getting tighter, and that's the thing. We're gonna have to start playing some of the teams around us soon. Obviously, starting with Worthing. So, but the thing is though, most of them, to be fair, we've got to play at home. We've still got Bournemouth, Torquay, Worthing, and Dorking all still come to us, which is good because don't get me wrong. I know our away record's been better, but at home, if we get a big crowd behind us, we do make it an intimidating place for teams to come to. So hopefully we can use that to our advantage. But we've got to start with that on Saturday because there's no point doing it against Bournemouth and Torquay if you can't do it against the likes of Worthing and Dorking as well. So yeah, be interested to see how we all panned out then. Just want to stay in there if we can.
I mean, capitals. You're in capitals, Ben.
We're in yellow, orange-ish.
As well.
Yeah.
Yellow capitals as well.
Yes. We'll quite happy keep it like that. If it stays where it is, I wouldn't be too unhappy about that. So at least we don't have advantage in the playoffs.
So, National League South, the table. So, top of the table, we have Boreham Wood on 52 points. Dorking United are second on 52 points. Who's third, Ben?
Maistones.
Yay, on 51 points. In fourth, we have Truro City on 49 points. Worthing are fifth on 49 points. Eastbourne are sixth on 49 points. Dorking Wanderers and mighty Marc White are seventh on 46 points. You know I love him.
I think he didn't win his coat either.
I know.
I don't know who won the coat. I'm really disappointed.
I might just ask for a signed picture. Like, he'll just have a signed picture. Put it up.
Can have one of your caps instead.
Yeah. In the relegation zone, we have St Albans City on 19 points. Enfield Town are 22nd on 19 points. Aveley 23rd on 17 points. And then, as we did mention, bottom of National League South are Weymouth on 15 points.